no matter how physically demanding, the mental aspect is always so much harder. And when you're swimming 6 to 10 hours by yourself, I started running out of things to think about. Your mind starts getting exhausted. My name is Chris Ring, and I swam the entire length of the Mississippi River. It took me 181 days.
The Mississippi River is 2,320 miles long. Beginning in Minnesota, it empties into the Gulf of Mexico. And in 2015, Chris Rang took it on to raise awareness and honor Gold Star families.
The Gold Star family is a family that's lost a loved one in service to our country. So it's truly inspiring. So I was like, I want to do something.
So he took on the mighty Mississippi.
It's an amazing, powerful river. So you don't really know what to expect. We did as much research as possible into what you'll face in the Mississippi. You see a lot of wildlife out there. You'll see bald eagles flying around, a lot of alligators, stuff like that. One thing that I was really kind of surprised about was how big the swells get in the river. You know, I didn't expect 10-plus foot swells. The only time that I would not swim was when there was a fog. So if there's storms, still swimming through the storms. You know, we did hit some pretty big storms going down the river.
One storm he remembers in particular.
We're making good time, and before you know it, the sky's just pitch black. It's just sideways rain. The wind's changing constant direction. The lightning's flashing around, and you can feel it. It's hitting so close that you can feel it in the water. And there's nothing really you can do at that point. You know, you're waiting out. Well, I've always had a high respect and appreciation for nature. There's days that it took me an hour just to go half a mile. Just seeing how quickly that river can change, not only from weather, but, you know, from currents. You know, so a new appreciation for what that river itself, for what can come from and what you'll face in the Mississippi.
Asocias un poco los deportes a femenino y masculino, ¿no? La sincro actualmente, hoy en día, se ve aún un deporte femenino. Hay que romper barreras y en este caso pues me ha tocado a mí. Soy Pau Ribes, tengo 22 años y me dedico a la natación artística. La natación artística era antes lo que era conocido como la natación sincronizada y es como el ballet en el agua. Para ser un buen sincronista tienes que saber nadar, obviamente, pero aparte pues tienes que tener otras cualidades que no tienen los de natación, ¿no? Por ejemplo, la flexibilidad, saber bailar, expresar con el cuerpo. Yo creo que es uno de los más difíciles, me atrevería a decir, a nivel de todos los deportes. Yo desde pequeño ya hacía natación y me topé un poco con la sincro viendo un espectáculo en Barcelona. Yo tenía 7 años, entonces cuando lo vi me entró por los ojos, me encantó lo que vi. Cuando yo empiezo en la natación artística solo habían chicas, entonces me quedé un poco, wow, en plan un poco sorprendido, no me lo esperaba. Y el propio club también se quedaron un poco parados, ¿no? En plan, un chico que quiera hacer sincro es un poco raro, ¿no? Ha sido una lucha bastante dura porque, bueno, ya sabes, lo típico que te critican. Oyes comentarios. Al principio, cuando yo empecé, no me dejaban participar en depende de qué campeonatos. Estuve un tiempo parado, pero por suerte encontré a los Panteras Grogas. Las Panteras Grogas es una asociación LGTBI, de chicos y chicas, que hacen muchos deportes. Su filosofía un poco de los Panteras Grogas es que todo el mundo, de cualquier sexo, de cualquier mentalidad, es libre para hacer cualquier deporte el que quiera. Porque esto del sexismo también no solo pasa en la sincro, también está pasando en otros deportes. Entre todos nos tenemos que ayudar.
Pau Ribes también haciendo historia para España.
A nivel internacional, en 2015, que realmente aprobaron que los chicos podríamos participar. A nivel olímpico aún no nos han aprobado. Llegar, si pudiera, a nivel olímpico y a participar en una Olimpiada ya sería no va más, ¿no? Yo lo que espero como deportista es ir rompiendo barreras con todos los otros chicos, ¿no? Que somos alrededor del mundo. Al final es estar en el agua, que para mí es lo mejor que puede haber, ¿no? O sea, yo es como mi segunda casa el agua, en un estado de libertad.
You know, it's so funny, I get this question all the time. Do you still remember how it felt to drown? It was a crippling feeling. I was suffocating underwater. Now I've made it my job to conquer my fear and to help to get these kids swim lessons and learn how to respect the water. My name is Cullen Jones. I was in the Olympics in 2008 and 2012, and I love to give swim lessons.
Cullen Jones is a 4-time Olympic medalist swimmer for Team USA.
Right after getting the gold medal in 2008, they put the drowning rates in front of me. And I learned that 70% of African Americans, nearly 60% of Latin Americans, nearly 40% of Caucasians don't know how to swim. So it's a big problem all over the US. I think the reason that you don't see as many African Americans in swimming is because there's such a stigma that Black people don't swim. And this is something that needs to be broken because we are losing children, we are losing adults, and it's something that can be changed by swim lessons.
So when I want you guys to kick, I want you guys to push your arms right above the water. Okay?
Swimming lessons are so important to kids, to me personally, because I was almost one of those kids and part of this statistic.
When Cullen was just 5 years old, he almost drowned on a water slide at an amusement park.
They had to come out and grab me and resuscitate me because I was underwater for about 30 seconds. And I think what's important about the story is that I was fully supervised. I mean, it was that easy and that quick for me to go underwater. That could have been my last day on this earth.
And with that near-death experience, Cullen has made it his platform to bring water safety education to kids from all backgrounds.
The way that I'm trying to change my community is definitely with working with the Make a Splash initiative. I knew this is my way of giving back to a sport that's given me so much. Once you learn how to swim, it's like riding a bike, you never forget. So take the time, learn how to swim.
When you're looking out from the platform, usually it's just water everywhere, which makes you feel really, really tiny jumping into this giant ocean. I'm Rochelle Simpson, and I'm a world champion cliff diver. It's very similar to Olympic diving. The only difference is at the end, we're going to land on our feet. As I climb up on the platform, you hear the wind blowing in your ears. Sometimes there's seagulls zooming around my head. I hear the announcer call my name. It's kind of like I'm going into this hallway and the sound slowly cutting out, because that's when I'm going into focus. And that's when I set my feet and then my arms go up. I count to 3 and go. Your body's on autopilot and your brain is just sitting back watching. Front somersault, full twist, second somersault, tight position, half twist. When you hit the water at first, you don't notice anything, and then it starts all coming back. You create bubbles underneath the surface, and you feel those bubbles pushing you back up to the surface. Quite a cool feeling, actually. And you come up, take a breath of air, and the rush of adrenaline, it's like you've been holding it off and not even breathing until you hit that water. Each time I enter the water, it's another successful moment of convincing my brain to do something I'm scared of. But each time I get a sense of empowerment when I overcome it. I love it.
On Eli Malk Island in Palau, there is a lake like no other. The saltwater lake was once connected to the ocean, but as the island changed, it was closed off. Now in isolation, it is filled with a jellyfish species found nowhere else, the golden jellyfish. These cryptic creatures spend their days migrating across the lake, from one side to the other, following the path of the sun, which feeds the fast-growing algae that this jellyfish species feeds on. And with no predators to keep them in check, the jellyfish swarm and fill the lake like a cloudy dream. It's safe for humans to swim in, because though these jellyfish do have stingers, they are too small to be felt by humans. Gliding through this place feels otherworldly.